Good evening, Otherworldlies. This is Juliana Angel, your Dark Mask Diva. So tonight I'd like to talk about Bozos casting Aspersions. Now, people use the phrase casting dispersions. The malapropism is actually casting aspersions, okay? So if you don't know the phrase in which I'm referring, casting aspersions is when somebody is kind of throwing dirt on your character, all right? They're throwing shade on you. They're casting aspersions, all right? So let me talk about Bozos casting aspersions. Okay, they are basically accusing you of doing things you're not doing. Okay, I'm gonna talk about this same bozo that I always talk about. I don't have a whole lot of bozos, so in my past, thank goodness, I have a few, but I'm gonna talk about the biggest bozo in my past, which is a bozo I talk about all the time because he's kind of, I don't know anyone who's a bigger bozo than this guy was. And I was so young when I was with this bozo, so I haven't made a worse decision since then, since I was 18, in dating this type of bozo. So this guy really was like the biggest bozo on the planet. I haven't met anyone who fits a bigger description of a bozo since. So I make an example of this guy like a lot. Okay, so I'm going to talk about him because he's just such a dumbass. Okay, so I'm 18 years old. This is the same guy that I'm always telling stories on. Okay, so this bozo, I was cleaning my room, okay, and just to give you a little bit of a little background story, my parents are old school, okay, so the kids in my family were all heterosexual, all right, so my parents had this rule: no friends of the opposite sex in our bedrooms with us, right, okay, so you guys can, pretty much figure out why, okay? That's pretty much a no-brainer, okay? So, I was obedient, I did not let boys in my room, not even the gay boys, because they're boys, like my parents would kill us if we did that, right? So we did not let opposite sex friends in our rooms. That was just like, we had some house rules, and that was one of them. If we went to our friends' houses, like all the rest of the parents let our friends just like let whatever, kids go back there. And I was like, like I would go to like a guy's friend's house and they're like, come on back to my room. And I'm like, we can go in your room? Like, oh my God, or like some of my friends like were able to have like co-ed sleepovers and your parents are letting you do this. Oh my God. Like my parents would never. It was just like my parents had the most conservative rules. Okay, but I obeyed the rules, right? So, and I was 18, but I was still under the roof. So, one day I was cleaning my room, I rearranged all my furniture, and I was doing all this stuff, and I was cleaning my room, and the bozo came over, and my room was all the way at the end of the hall. Like our hall kind of curved around. We had this really modern house, and the hallway just curved all the way around, and it was like all the way at the end, right? So I cleaned my room, and I was really proud of it because I rearranged furniture, and I still like to do that. And you're like, you have so much clutter and everything over here. What's, you like to do that? Well, this is like the crafting corner, okay? This is where all the junk is. So that's not really a fair example of what I do, okay? The feng shui is on the other side of the house. So I cleaned my room. I feng shuied my room. I was really like happy about it and everything like that. So I opened the door and I was kind of sweaty and flushed and everything. I'm like, oh, hi, and he goes, pulling a bozo face. And I was like, what? And he goes, what are you doing? And I go, I'm cleaning my room. I rearranged furniture and I cleaned my room and I just got done cleaning it. And I rearranged all the furniture, and I threw away a bunch of trash, and I did blah, 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 blah. And I just was like, talk. And I was really proud of myself. So he bolted down the hall. He ran down the hall, right? And I was like, oh my God. I go, get out of my room. I go, get out of my room. I go, hurry up, like, what are you doing? And he runs back there, and I chase him down there, and I go, get out of my room, because I had a grandparent home and a sibling, and I'm like, I'm going to get told on. Of course they're going to tell on me. They're going to tell, because my parents weren't home, but there was always someone home who could, tell on me, like, she had a boy in her room, and it was her boyfriend. There was someone back there. Excuse me. So I'm like, get out of there, and I wasn't going to go in there with him because that would have looked even worse. And so I'm standing in the hall, and I'm like, get out of my room right now. And he comes out with a piece of paper, and it was a folded paper crane. And I go, what? I go, give me that bird right now. And I tried to take it away from him, and he's like holding it away like it was like, contraband or something. And I go, what? That's a paper bird. I go, my friend made me that. Like, what are you doing, dude? And so he opens it up, and he holds it, and he shows it to me, like, and I totally forgotten what it was. It was an old love letter from an old boyfriend, an old high school boyfriend. And the old boyfriend had folded it up into a paper crane, and inside it said, I love you. Oh, bro, I forgot. I had totally forgotten about it. It just looked, because he used to fold me paper cranes all the time. So I had a bunch of different ones in there, right? And I didn't even know that it said I love you inside of it. I guess he'd gone in there and unfolded all of my paper cranes that I had set around as decorations, and he found that one. And I just looked at it, and I go, oh my God, I go, that's a note from a long time ago. I go, my friend used to fold up paper cranes and stuff like that. I go, that's like from a long time ago. He goes, no, that's recently. And he starts like accusing me of all this stuff. I go, look, that's a note from a friend from a really long time ago. I go, I didn't even know that was written in there. I go, because it's from a long, long time ago. I go, that's from high school. He goes, you just graduated. And I said, that was from a long time ago. High school was I go, I was like a junior in high school, and I said, and I'm 18 now, and I graduated when I was 17. I go, that wasn't just recently. I go, I'm not in school anymore. And I go, you're not supposed to be in my room. I go, you went in there and you messed my room up. You're not supposed to be in my room. I go, what made you run down the hall and run right into my room? And I go, you came in looking for something that I did wrong. Why were you doing that? He actually he goes, 'cause you were just like all hot and sweaty, and you look surprised to see me and all this other stuff. I said, no, you came over here for some reason and you thought I was doing something wrong. Why? You purposely came over here for some reason looking to find me doing something wrong. And I said, I've been at my house all day cleaning my room. I'm cleaning my room. I go, so when my parents come home, they'll see me cleaning my room, doing a good thing, and be proud of me. Like I'm a good kid, cleaning my room. That's what I'm talking about. He purposely came over to look to find me doing something wrong, and unfolded every single one of those origamis. And looked in all of them until he found something that someone had written me a long time ago. I didn't even know it said I love you in there, to be honest. But he was unfolding them all to see if there was any messages written in them. But he purposely, you know how some people will go through their boyfriends or girlfriends' phones looking for something wrong when they're not doing anything wrong? That's kind of what he did. He just ran into my room for no reason. He wasn't even supposed to be in there, because I said I was cleaning my room. And my room was like spotless, and he went in there and he just like jacked my room up, looking for something wrong in there. Yeah. So I go, did you find anything else I might have been doing wrong in there? I go, I was cleaning my room. And I go, were you looking for somebody in there or something? I mean, what are you trying to find in there? Is it, so here's the thing. When people do that, it's really them who's guilty. If somebody's looking to find something that you are doing wrong, okay, it's because they have a guilty conscience. If they are thinking that way, it is their faulty character. If they are looking to find something that you are doing wrong, and you're not doing anything wrong, and I wasn't doing anything wrong. I mean, I'm just one of those people that I don't need to seek validation. Okay, my self-esteem is extremely high, so I don't really need to seek validation through cheating. And I don't really have, like, a mind to go seek for like extra penises, so I don't need to like go cheat. Okay, so this guy, the thing about this bozo is he knows I didn't belong with him, right? So he's probably sitting around wondering, why is she dating me? And he's right. Okay, so he's absolutely right. He knows I shouldn't have been dating him, and he's probably sitting around going all day going, why is that nice girl dating me? I'm such a loser. So he's looking for all these clues, like, I must be dating someone else because I could just be dating him because he's a freaking loser. So he's looking for all these clues that I'm dating someone else, right? Because, I mean, I should have been dating somebody else. I shouldn't have been dating him. But the thing was, I wasn't. I was just kind of I was always doing other things. I wasn't really dating him seriously, though. I was just kind of hanging around him, but I was really always doing other things with my time. I was either cleaning my room or going to work or going to school. You know what I mean? I was just a young lady that was just doing, good things with my time, right? Like sometimes I was modeling, sometimes I was working, sometimes I was in school. I was, and I obeyed my parents. I was like not a loser like him, right? So I was like not cheating on him either, because I just wasn't thinking about stuff like that. I wasn't like boy crazy, you know what I mean? So I wasn't thinking about cheating on him and doing stuff. I was actually, my mind was on my money, you know what I mean? And my mind was on my education. I wasn't like thinking like that, you know what I mean? So, but he's thinking, because he was probably, he's probably cheating on me because he's stupid. And so in his mind, he's thinking she has to be cheating on me. I'm not good enough for her. And, he knows, bozos know they're bozos. He's probably sitting around going, I'm a real loser and a bozo, and she has to be cheating on me. So he came in this whole, he came to my house, and the whole way over, he was just probably thinking, I need to catch her doing something. And so he had to go ransack my room after I cleaned it. And, so I said, well, I need you to wait in the front so I can go clean my room again after you jacked it up. And I go, now I have to figure out how to fold all these like little birds and turtles and everything the way my friend had it and set them around my room again. I go, don't go in my room again. I'm going to get in trouble. I said, if someone who lives here saw you go in my room, I'm going to get yelled at when my parents come home today. Don't do that. He goes, who else has been in your room? And I go, me. No one has been in my room but you. You don't belong in my room. I go, I'm going to get yelled at. Thanks a lot. And he's just like, oh, ooh, making a bozo face, and I'm just like, so if you're a young lady and you have a boyfriend who's really that stupid, he's not stupid in a way because he knows he doesn't belong with you. So he's trying to figure it out in his mind why you're not cheating on him. You know what I mean? Because you really should be dating somebody else. So he's just trying to figure out like why you're seeing him in the first place. You know what I mean? Because like bozos have so much free time on their hands because They don't have jobs, they don't go to school, they're not trying to better themselves, so they're just sitting around all day just trying to figure out, because they don't have anything going on in their lives. So they're just like doing drugs or doing crimes or whatever they're doing because they're bozos. So they're just sitting around going, what's really going on here? And they're sitting around and scratching their head, and and with their two neurons that work, and they're just trying to figure out what's really going on, and asking you if you're real and all this kind of stuff, because they can't figure it out. And for me, I wasn't even really paying him any mind. He was just this dude that hung out with me, you know what I mean? And I was just kind of like, okay, I really just want you to go home before my parents get here, because I need to finish cleaning my room now that you'd messed it up. And you're mad at me. I go, yeah, because you came and messed my room up. I want my room to be clean when my parents come home. I really don't want them to have any reason to be mad at me. So if you have a bozo in your life who's looking to find you guilty of something, all right, there's a reason for it. They know you don't belong with them. If you're not doing anything wrong and they're looking to find you guilty, yeah, you don't belong with that person. They're casting aspersions. It's their character defect. All right. It's something in psychology called projection. All right. They're projecting their own inadequacies on you. Because they're probably cheating on you. Okay, because they feel bad about themselves. Okay, they know they don't belong with you. Okay, and bozos, because of their own character flaws, they want to accuse you of something. All right, and a lot of it too is they just want to get the spotlight off of what they're probably doing. And to be honest, you really don't care about them, so you don't really care about what they are doing anyway. Right, because I really didn't care about what he was doing, because I really didn't want to be with him, to be honest. I was just kind of like glad when he wasn't around, because I was too busy thinking about, okay, I want to make enough money to get out of my parents' house and go live my life. He wasn't really somebody I was trying to be with in the future anyway. I wanted to kind of grow up and move to a bigger city and do, bigger and better things with my life. And, I wasn't really thinking about him too much. And I'm pretty sure he could also sense that, as dumb as he was. So, bozos casting aspersions. If someone is just bolting into your house like that and disobeying your house rules and just doing dumb things like that and ransacking your house and looking for something that you're doing wrong, if you're a young person or even an older person or just, any kind of person, take that as the red flag that it is. I was just kind of like, just taken aback, like, why are you even doing something like that? He came over with that thought in his mind already. So, I was just kind of taken aback by how crazy and insecure he was. So, there's a point where we need to stop feeling sorry for the people that we're seeing how insecure they are, because they're going to punish us. People, if you're seeing somebody who's insecure, they are going to end up punishing you for it. You are going to end up paying for their insecurity. All right, they are going to cast aspersions. They are going to punish you because they have low self-esteem, and you are going to need to get rid of them. Okay, and you're going to need to just get on with your life. So he just went from bad to worse, and I have like 100 more stupid stories to tell about him, but I just really wasn't paying him any mind, And he's done 100 more stupid things besides that, but I was a kid and I just wasn't really paying attention. So. I think that's all for now, and I love you all, and I will see you in the next content. Good night.